Hi everybody, so my client's back for an infill. Everything's looking really good except for this thumb. She hit it pretty hard and it's looks like halfway down, I think. So I'm just gonna see and look where all the lifting is, but I can see it's a lot. So she's probably gonna have to redo the entire nail, but that's fine. So I'm just going to search for some lighter spots. You can already see it showing up now. If you make a nail really thin, you can see exactly where the lifting is. Once I've got that figured out, I'm just going to go along the edges of the part that's lifted, and I'm just going to, get rid of that spot without causing any more damage to the natural nail because I really don't want that. So yeah, here I'm gonna carve away where the lifted part is still attached to the artificial product that's still, attached to the natural nail. So I'm just going to be really careful and I'm not going to file on the natural nail. I'm just gonna um, just going to carefully take it off. Just going to carefully separate it from the product that's still attached, if you know what I mean. And I'm almost done. Here you can see just a little spot that's still attached. So I'm being really careful. Is it here? And there it is, still attached there. So carefully getting rid of that. And there you go. It's like a little lid that's come off. Yeah, you can see this really hit it hard because the natural nail is really damaged, sadly, but that happens. So next I'm just going to remove everything from the rest of the nails, um, taking away the color, she doesn't have any more lifting. That's all I need to know. Oh, just a little bit here in the corner. And she works at a grocery store, so she really uses her hands a lot, getting all the stuff into the racks, how do you say? Getting all the product in the store and making sure that everybody can get what they need. Yeah, so sometimes she necks them on stuff, whatever. Yeah, but usually she's pretty good with her nails. She really, does look after them, but she still has to work. So, yeah, stuff like that happens. Lifting happens, unfortunately. So now I can carefully go ahead and shape that nail. Um, of course, I need to do a lot before it's done, but I can get that basic shape back in and get the right nail length because she did want to get rid of a little bit of length, but not too much, of course. We do like longer nails. I got a little bit of color still left there. You probably know I never file on top of the natural nail, so I'm being really careful not to touch the nail. I just want to get rid of that last bit of color that was still left on there. Lower arches, getting it straight out of the side walls. A little bit of color left over there. Yeah, and I really don't want to file on top of the nail because um, your nails will get weak and artificial product doesn't do well on weak nails. Um, yeah, so that's why. And if you file too much on top of the nail, the acrylates in the product will and other stuff, like alcohol, monomer, whatever. If your nails are really damaged, they will get straight through the nail into your bloodstream, and that will also cause allergies in the long run. So that's why I'm always being really careful with the natural nail, because this is my income, this is my full-time job. And yeah, if my clients get allergic, I don't get paid. Yeah, so now carefully removing the cuticle tissue using my e-file. So I'm just flaking it off. Then e-file scratches the nail really, really, really lightly, like a buffer. Unless you apply a lot of pressure, of course, you don't need to apply pressure. Just, getting it over the nail will flake off the cuticle tissue. But yeah, the minimal scratches that it leaves behind is more than enough to get great adhesion. So now it's time to scrub the nails, really getting rid of all the oils, really getting inside all of the nooks and crevices, make sure that it's really clean. And on each nail, I'm going to use a different side of the wipe, except for on the pinky nail. But that nail doesn't endure as much as a index finger or a middle finger, so that's fine. And yeah, so all the other nails get a clean side, just like that, and we're done scrubbing. And now I'm gonna go in with my Seal and Protect by Magnetic. Here you go. Yeah, and it's really, really thin, like water, like really thin. So you really need to be careful with it and don't oversaturate. Don't use too much. Just use a little tiny bit, because the nail cells are pretty damaged and lifted. This product is like water thin, and it will get underneath those lifted parts and it will seal them back together. So it will create a strength, and yeah, it's my go-to product. It's such a great product. And once that's cured, I'm gonna go in with my rubber base clear to get a good adhesion. And I do have a lot of nail shape correction to do, so I'm going to build up a pretty thick nail. I'm going to use a couple of layers. You don't want to use a thick layer like that all at once, because, trust me, it's not going to cure properly, even though it does feel cured, but it's not. So just work in multiple layers. It's safer for you, it's safer for your client. Yeah, so this is the first layer. Yeah, it's going to be a thin layer, um, but I am going to build in a little bit of an apex already. And I really need to thicken up the free edge, because I'm going to take away a lot of product underneath the free edge. Yes, I could have taken off the natural nail entirely, but I don't know. This just works better for me. I like working this way a lot better than taking it off, putting a form underneath. If they got their nails on, I'm just gonna work, from the top and taking away from the bottom. Yeah, I just love how that works. So this is the second layer. Making sure I got the entire nail covered on the free edge. Near the cuticle it doesn't matter because it's already there and it needs to be thin. I'm not going to add a lot near the cuticle area because I would just end up taking that away anyway. I just want to have a thick free edge right now, of course. So that is all cured. I'm going to file it into shape. Getting those side walls, getting the shape back in, going to my lower arches, making sure the nails are coming straight out of the side wall. You would see that in a little bit. So I've done my first shaping. Yeah, and as you can see, it's pretty thick, but I need that thickness to get the nail coming up again. So I'm going to file underneath and I'm going to file up. Applying pressure on the very tip of the free edge. I'm not going to apply a lot of pressure on the sidewall area. This one too, this one needs a big correction also because they grow down. So I've applied a lot of product on the free edge and not a lot near the cuticle area because you really don't need to. And same thing, um, creating a nice shape and then the lower arches filing upward to make sure that the nail is straight again, just like that. And once that's done for all the nails, I'm gonna take out my e-file and I'm just going to do the basic shaping with the e-file. And there's not a lot of filing left to do on top, just a little bit of shaping. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go in with my hand file again and just make sure that everything is really nice and crisp. I'm just going to go over it one more time and I'm going to have to do some filing underneath with the e-file to make sure that the C-curve is back in again, that there are no lumps and bumps and that they are, that the lower arches are thin and not thick because I filed underneath and upward. You're going to get a really thick lower arch. I really don't want that. It looks ugly and it feels weird. So I'm just going to thin them out later on with my e-file. So now I'm gonna go in with number 89 by Soaks. Oh, just a lovely, lovely, lovely red color. Really pretty. Um, I do think that red is one of the hardest colors, to get on nail. I always try to be really careful, and somehow I just always, mess it up somewhere. I always, I always get it under the skin. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm being so careful and I really don't want to touch anything because of the red color and whatever. And then I'll get, I don't know, nervous or something. And then I will touch the skin like, oh my God, like all the time. Like, so annoying. But yeah, look at that color. So pretty. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go in with the second coat. Well, I did pretty well this time, painting with red. It went pretty good. Only had a few slip ups, I believe. Yeah, really pretty. Yeah, so, that's it basically. Just, 8 nails of this wonderful red polish. Of course, I'm gonna go in with my top gel no cleanse, seal it all in, and I always do the thumbs first because that works best for me. People tend to get lint, in the uncured or in the cured product, in the sticky layer, and yeah, it annoys the hell out of me. So I've decided a long time ago I'm just gonna do the thumbs first. So when I'm painting the other nails and the thumb is hanging down, it won't touch the clothes, or it will touch the clothes, but the top coat is still on, so there's no need for me to worry about lint or whatever. So yeah, that's why it just works best for me. And I have to cure the thumb separately anyway, so time wise, it really does not matter. So now I'm gonna go in with number 249, a very lovely semi-transparent cover color, as you can see. I'm gonna do 2 nails, and the rest of the nails will be red. And this was a special request by her husband. He is a big Marvel fan, and he has been asking for her to do Marvel nails for like a long time, but she really didn't want to do it. And I was like, well, just do Groot. It's so cute. And finally, she did. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna paint Groot, and I'm gonna paint I am Groot on her middle finger. So yeah, just enjoy the process. So I was really happy how these nails came out, and yeah, she was too, and her husband really thought that her nails were awesome. And the next day, I got a text with a picture that she knocked her nail really hard, and yeah, she broke her middle finger, the one I'm painting right now, and she just got a big chunk, out of it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Of course, I fixed it, and in my opinion, it came out even better than it did today. But yeah, that was so sad. Yeah, we fixed it, and it's all good now. And yeah, I really think it's really cute. Groot isn't that bad to have on your nails, right? Groot is cute. Yeah, so I decided to add some leaves um, on the text because, Groot is a tree thingy. And yeah, and it gave it a little bit more oomph than just, plain flat text like that. So the R is going to be a bit out of place. It's going to be a little bit wonky. But yeah, that's the way the text was on the picture that she brought, and she really wanted to have it that way. So it's going to be a little bit higher up and a little bit out of place. But I think it gives it character, so that's fine. And here are her nails. Yeah, before she broke them. And like I said in part two, I really like the middle finger even better than it looks now. But yeah, really happy how they turned out. So I really hope you've liked this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all a very good day. Goodbye.